Magdalene laundries. Jesus Christ was celibate, and they married him to a woman from his life. Unlawfully wedded. And they fornicated with her for many, many years and destroyed her. And destroyed Jesus as well. They married. And I have this problem. But anyway. Then you had Magdalene laundries, where they're squeezing out lots of Magdalene babies. The Swiss, the Dutch, the Americans, Florida, and Denmark, these gypsy countries, specifically Switzerland, Denmark, state of Florida, but New York as well. And all these babies were being sent abroad. And they shamed the Irish into it, you know what I mean? You were born out, ironically, a baby was born out of wedlock. And they took the babies off them, and they sold them practically as child sex slaves, I'd imagine, all around the world. Well, not all around the world. Switzerland, Denmark, Netherlands, Florida, or stealing your babies. Okay, you have this problem, Ireland, at the moment. You have a Swiss runaway. See, Switzerland exploits independent countries very blatantly, like Ukraine's been independent for 7 years and it's been exploited. And the Swiss are doing it here. And they are over here exploiting. And they took the government, there's a runaway government. The President of Ireland gives more care for his Swiss bank account and his Swiss buddies and his daughter or niece who's working in the Swiss embassy. And he's from Florida as well. President Higgins is from Florida. And so you have this problem. And it's just like the Magdalene babies are disappearing. There's a lot of kiddies disappearing in Ireland. And not even being disappearing, but yeah. So this is just me saying to wake up, wake up Ireland, that you had this problem before, and this caused World War. A woman got away and tried to make people aware of the horrible things. She was like a good Samaritan kind of way, and nobody would listen to her because they were all involved in it, and they wouldn't believe how horrible her stories were. She had a few children herself, this lady, but probably with a few different men. Silver bells, cockle shells, and little maids all in a row. But these kiddies disappeared. And these kiddies were killed probably, or sold into sex slavery for abroad. Little Ayrian sex slaves. And this is happening at the moment. And you were completely oblivious to it at the moment, Ireland, because you were welcoming these Vanderbergs and these monsters, all of these Rosenbergs, Miami, Florida, Switzerland, and it's just, you're doing it again. And Ayrian is Ayrian, you know what I mean? They're just doing it again, and it's hard for me or anyone then to shed light on the situation without being called Adolf Hitler. You know what I mean? He wanted to protect Aryan people, and after the war it was agreed. It's like, oh yes, the one thing he was doing, he was protecting these important people who are very important to Christianity. So it's hard for me, to do anything without being called Hitler. But see, that is what's going to happen again. This is going to really reach a point of absurdity and a point of extremity where they realise what's happening with these kiddies. But the horrible thing about Ireland is, they're working with them, like in Liberia, like I've already said all this. But they're working with them, like the government and the police are working with them, and they're getting all these stupid farmers. They're like, oh, you don't mind killing cattle? How do you feel about killing kids? And it's going on all over this poxy godforsaken country. I hate this country. I hate. I'm not a nationalist anyway, for certain. But I hate this country. But anyway, they're so oblivious and Christian that you don't even realise it. And most people are like, oh, that's too horrible to believe. I wouldn't believe that. That's not happening at all. But it is happening. That is happening at the moment. And, they're doing it again. Is it a farce, And they forget about it. And then you realise, like, ooh, like everyone knew about it after the war and everything was supposed to change. And then everyone forgot about it. And now they're doing it again. So lock up your kids, the Swiss are on the road. You know what I mean? They're shopping. They are shopping. That's what they call it, shopping. And they're going around to campuses. They're going around daycare centres, your kiddies, infants. There's a lot of cloning going on in the world as well. And to let you know this isn't absurd, but there's a lot of cloning going on in the world. You won't believe me, the amount of cloning. I think there are 45% of the people in this world are clones. They bragged 50 on an advert the other day on TV. I saw they were bragging 50, but it's about 45% of the people. That's why you got trouble with CO2 and oxygen and methane, and these people weren't registered with God or registered with the Lord, So your child would disappear and you get a clone child and you think, the kid's acting a bit different just these days. Yep, so wake up and protect your neck, Ireland. And all these people that suddenly influxed into Ireland in the last 7 or 8 years, go home. And they're the ones that are bumping you all down the property ladder, you know what I mean? They're the ones that came and bought and are coveting the country and bumping you all out. You got a lot of Irish people on the streets, and you got a lot of rich gypsies from Florida just soaking up as much property here as they can. And they're not going to go anywhere, you know what I mean? I don't mean to incite distance, but like, the IRA is supposed to scare people away like this, you know what I mean? They're supposed to just like hit on a few Americans and all the Americans just run away collectively. It's like, we're not welcomed here anymore. Yeah, you're not fucking welcomed here anymore, and get lost. But then they're working with them. And I've already said this in another video to the IRA because they claim to be military exports. And like, if you were going to first world invasion or first world conquest on a country, you'd go to the dodgy people, first of all, and try to get them under your thumb and get them under your control. And that's exactly what they did. And I was like, don't you ever wonder why these rich men from Florida are working with you as grunty fucking gypsies from Wexford and Sinn Féin, IRA, Mafia? Because it's a first world conquest. And in the first world, they're not sending in battles and tanks. They're sending in a fucking couple of millionaires, and all the grubby Irish solicitors and politicians all can't wait to make buddies and be lobbied by all these millionaires from France and, you know what I mean, Paris, and millionaires from the Netherlands. And all of the politicians in Ireland now since the last 7 or 8 years are filthy, filthy wealthy. And they got lobbied and they got everything they wanted. And they sold your soul because of it. These are all living in spiritual bondage and sex slavery. You wouldn't even know it. Why do I stink? Why do I smell like a traveller? Why do I sound Irish? Why isn't your corn yellow? Holy Roman Empire was all yellow. Everything was all yellow, you know what I mean? And what's happened to your corn? So, protect your neck, wake up, ephemeral Ireland, lambs bite back, bitches. So, excuse me, swearing. And, grow a pair because, you're not going to have any working sperm in the future at the rate this is going. So, the pacifism in Ireland is just terrible. It is absolutely just terrible. It's just because I'm only saying this because I had a dream last night, and it was explicated in the dream that the Swiss have taken control of this country. I was explicated in say the Swiss country. So I'm just gonna leave it all behind. It's fucked. It's trashed. I'm going off to Russia. No, Slava Russi. They know what a gypsy looks like and how to keep them out of their country. Yous don't, and yous are completely run away. Yous are completely, utterly under them. Gone, run away. You can see it in the Have I Got News for You? Ireland's runaway. Ireland's on a runaway mission. Runaway Ireland. Go Ireland, don't come back as far as I'm concerned, you stupid fucking hillbillies. Yeah. I don't even care for you, Paddy. I just thought I'd let you know you're fucked.